What is the last class? What we discussed in the last class? Where we are and what is the unit we are discussing? Respond.
Data transfer in mobile IP.
Data transfer in mobile IP. Right. Can anybody say what is the need of mobile IP and how it is being different from the normal IP communication? What are its goals? See, I asked you to tell me the topic. Right, we are in the unit of mobile IP, discussing that how the network layer is being helpful for us in mobile communication, right? So how it is being different from the normal IP communication, what are all the goals of mobile IP while it is going to be introduced for mobile communication, and what are all the challenges that it has to face in the real-time application in executing the mobile computing environment. And we have seen that particular requirements also, and after that we go on with the different terminologies and entities that we have to get familiar while discussing with the IP technologies that are helpful in mobile communication, right? So the different mobile node, correspondent node, home agent, foreign agent, co-located address, foreign agent, care of address. These are all the different entities that we saw that we have to get aware, like the architecture of the GSM, right? So, like the architecture of the GSM, like a radio subsystem, okay, operation subsystem, and also the corresponding mobile subsystem and service substation, all these things. As we are being aware of different entities of the GSM architecture, in the similar way, we have to also get aware of different terminologies and entities of the corresponding mobile IP. So in that way, we are already familiar with the mobile node, the corresponding node, the partner of the mobile node, and the home agent, the own network of the corresponding mobile node, and the foreign network, the network into which the corresponding mobile node, while it is been talking, moving over from its network to the corresponding other network, into which the foreign agent comes into scene, due to which the mobile node will be get assigned with a particular IP address with which the mobile node is going to continue its communication with the correspondent node. So we know that about that particular terminology, and we also discussed in the previous class about how the corresponding communication will be taking place in the mobile IP using the various techniques, like how the data delivery will be happen, how the communication will be happen in between, and how the calls will be get connected. In four steps that we have saw that how the corresponding mobile node will be communicating with the correspondent node, even though it has been moved from home network to the foreign network. So where the tunneling is going to be happen, where the encapsulation is going to be happen. Okay, tunneling will be in between the home router and the foreign router, and the encapsulation in between the foreign router and the mobile node, right? So whenever we are traveling, or a mobile node is going to be traveling from the home network to the foreign network, so how the address will be get rerouted, or how the address will be tunneled into our data packet, and how it is will be encapsulated through the corresponding default router that has been temporarily assigned to you to continue the communication with the corresponding node that we have saw in these four steps, right? And we also discussed about how the data transfer will be taking place in this mobile IP, right? So while the data is being communicating in between the correspondent node and the mobile node, where the mobile node is being not present in the home network, even though he is belonging to that particular mobile node is belonging to the home network, it has been moved to the new location called the foreign network. So in that case, the correspondent node which is communicating with the mobile node just knows about the address of the home network itself, so that the correspondent node is going to be sending the packet with the address of the home node IP itself. Then the home agent is going to be intercepting that particular packet, identifying that the relative mobile node is not presenting in the home node and it has been residing temporarily in the foreign network, so that it has to tunnel that packet to the new address which has been allocated by a particular foreign agent belonging to that particular foreign network, right? So that the tunneling will be taking place in between the home agent and also the foreign agent. So whatever the packet that is being sent by the correspondent node to the home agent will be tunneled by itself with the COA that has been allocated to the foreign agent, right? So now the foreign agent, after intercepting with the COA address, it is going to be encapsulating that particular packet, and it is going to be forwarding that particular packet to the foreign agent, to the mobile node from the foreign agent. So in this way, the data will be traveled from the correspondent node to the mobile node through the home agent and also the foreign agent. Okay, in this way, the data transfer will be taking place. And coming to the next one, in the reverse way, how the mobile node is going to be transferring the data to the correspondent node. How the mobile node is being transferring the data to the correspondent node. So after receiving the encapsulated packet, which has been received from the correspondent node through the foreign agent to the mobile node, will be get answered in reverse from the mobile node to the correspondent node directly, because here now foreign agent will be acting as a default router in between the mobile node and the correspondent node. Okay, so while moving over, how the mobiles are being communicating, or the mobile communicating devices are being conveying our information or conveying our data, is being depicted in these pictures, right? How the data will be transferred, how the address will be readdressed, how it will be get allocated to us, and how it will be rerouted, how the routers will be changing their positions, how the communication path will be changed once it has been allocated by the home agent, right? This is what we have saw. And coming to the internal working of IP, so how these addresses will be done, how the home agent will be knowing that our mobile node is not presenting in the home network and it has been transferred to the foreign network, and how the home address has been changed to the care of address now by the home agent or the particular foreign agent, how these things will be happening, how the agents will be get first identified by the corresponding mobile devices or the mobile stations, right? Here the mobile stations or the mobile devices are nothing but the mobile users itself, right? So please keep in mind that whenever we say that, whether it is a mobile host or a mobile station or a mobile transceiver or whatever it is, or a mobile communicating device, all comes in the part of a mobile itself, right? So what happens internally, we are saying that we are changing the route, we are changing from home network to the foreign network, we are assigned with the new address, we got a new identification. So how this particular identification will be given, so how the agents will be identified by the mobile devices itself. So whether the agents are going to be identifying the mobile agents or the mobile agents are identifying the mobile devices, what happens here, what is we discussed in the last class at the particular, right? So every mobile IP, that is the mobile IP, has going to be given with two addresses every time. That is nothing but a mobile will be given with two addresses. One is the home address and one is the care of address. Already we know this, what is the home address and the care of address. Home address is nothing but the one which is going to be given by the home network. That is the permanent address given for this particular mobile host, and it won't change. But whenever our mobile host has been traveling from the home network to the corresponding foreign network, it will be losing its identification, right? It is going to entering into the new network where its identification is not there, or it is new to that particular area. So in that case, the corresponding agent present in that particular network, which is a foreign agent for our mobile at that moment, is going to be allocating us care of address, which is a temporary address of our mobile device, which is a temporary identification of our mobile device, with which we are being continuing our communication with the correspondent node. Correspondent node is our partner node with which we are communicating. The correspondent node may not be a single one, it may be in many number. We may be communicating with a single party, or we may be communicating with multiple number of parties. So in that case, we need some identification to be get identified by the corresponding partners, right? So the identification is being given by the home address when we are present in the home network. But when we are moving to the other network, we will becoming the home foreign body, right? So that particular foreign body will be given some identification in their network, that is called as the care of address. So if you are continuing the communication in the home network, I mean the foreign network, until we complete the communication, then that particular address is called as foreign agent care of address. Otherwise, if you are moving continuously, then that particular address which is being allocated by the foreign network temporarily for a moment to the foreign mobile host in the foreign network is called as co-located care of address, right? So it is going to be moving, that is we are not retaining or staying in that particular area constantly, we are moving to the other foreign network immediately, so that these foreign networks as we are moving through, they are going to allocating us the temporary care of addresses, and those care of addresses are called as the co-located care of addresses, right? So to communicate with our partners who are very remote, we are who are very far apart from us, so how we are going to be communicating with us, what's happening internally, so what are the different phases we'll go undergo, so that all these are going to be happening, that is we will be losing our own address, we will be assigned with some foreign address called as care of address, and as we are moving continuously throughout the different foreign networks, we will be continuously allocated with the co-located addresses. How these are going to be happening, how we are going to identifying that we are moving from the home network and crossing and entering into the new foreign network, and foreign agent is going to be assigning the new address, whether the mobile users are going to be aware of all these things. No, the mobile users will not aware that they are just crossing the home network to the foreign network, and they are moving over different foreign networks while they are traveling. All these are going to be get identified by the agents of that particular network itself. Okay, so the mobile user will not have the illusion or any identification that he is crossing the networks and he has been allocated with the new care of addresses every time he is being moving over. So what happens here is the agents itself are going to taking care of our mobiles whenever you are traveling and whenever you are moving. So the three phases may be happening while you are moving with the mobile host devices. What are those are? Agent discovery, agent registration, and data transfer. Agent discovery, agent registration, and data transfer. These phases are must while you are moving across the different foreign networks, right? So among this particular agent discovery, again we are having the two methods. In the agent discovery, we are having the two methods. One is agent advertisement and agent solicitation. Agent advertisement and agent solicitation. So agent discovery, as the name implies that it has to be get discovered, but actually it is not going to be discovered itself, it is going to be getting exhibited. Agent itself exhibit itself, agent itself exhibit itself, but it is not going to be discovered by anybody. Depending upon the exhibition procedure of the agent itself, the mobile host is going to be get connected, right? So to find a foreign agent, we can simply say that to find a foreign agent, when you are moving from the home network to the corresponding foreign network, the mobile IP is going to be followed with any two procedures, either the agent advertisement or the agent solicitation, right? So what about this agent advertisement and agent solicitation? So here, every time the home agents and the foreign agents, every time the home agents and the foreign agents are going to be advertising themselves periodically using the messages called as special messages called as agent advertisement messages. That is, they are broadcasting their addresses into the subnet. They are broadcasting their addresses into their subnet from time to time. Whenever timer expires, they are going to be renewing their advertisement messages. So this is not a new packet. There is no specific new message that is being generated because of this particular agent advertisement messages because of the mobile IP. We are using the packet of the ICMP itself, that is Internet Control Message Protocol Advertisement Packet. So within that particular ICMP packet itself, we are including the advertisement packet of the agent. So we are going to appending some information regarding the agent advertisement to the ICMP packet, which is going to control or maintain the traffic and also see that the message has been intended for the correct IP address while traveling through. Okay, so as it is already checking the packets, we are also going to be sending the advertisement of the agents with the ICMP. Okay, so the foreign agents and both the home agents. Why? Because our home agent will be the foreign agent for other mobile IPs, and that particular foreign agent will be becoming the corresponding foreign agent for our mobile IP, right? That way, all the agents of all the networks has to periodically send the advertisement messages in order to catch up all the corresponding mobile hosts which are moving from their home networks to the foreign networks. So in this category, we have already discussed about agent advertisement packet, and we discussed about the standard of RFC 1256. RFC 1256 agent advertisement packet. The ICMP packet has been divided into two parts. One is the upper part, which is completely for ICMP purpose, and the lower part, which is for the mobile IP purpose, right? So upper part is for the ICMP and lower part is for the mobile IP. So what are these things that we already discussed about, and we'll have a revision of that. See the TTL packet, we are discussing about the upper part, that is the ICMP packet. The TTL field of the IP packet is set to 1 for advertisements to avoid forwarding them. That is, the ICMP packet which is meant for the advertising will be setting its TTL field to 1. Will be setting its TTL field to 1, indicating that it is a advertisement packet, not a data packet to get forwarded. Okay, so first by seeing that, the router will not forward that packet, just it is going to be advertising the address of the corresponding agent. Okay, and the type field, okay, as we see the corresponding fields of the upper part of the ICMP packet, we are having the type code, checksum, addresses size, next lifetime, router levels, and the router addresses and the preference levels are there, right? We are discussing these things. Type is set to 9, okay, which is indicating that it is the advertisement packet, and the code can be 0 if the particular agent is going to be routing the non-mobile nodes. So if the agent is going to be routing the traffic of non-mobile devices or static devices, then the code will be set to 0. Otherwise, it will be set to 16 if it is handling the mobile traffic, right? If it is handling the mobile traffic, it is going to be set to 16. Otherwise, the code will be 0 if it is going to be handling the static traffic. And coming to the next one, the number of addresses, it is going to be indicating that the number of advertisement packets or advertising addresses that are being issued will be stored in this particular field called as number of addresses. Okay, so next one is lifetime, denotes the length of the time the advertisement is valid. So how much of amount of time the corresponding advertisement packet will be retaining, or it is going to be holding its period, how much of time it is going to be living live, that lifetime is going to be, lifetime field is going to be explaining us. And next one is the preference levels. It is going to be choosing the most eager node, the most preferring eager node that it want to choose to send the data through it particular packet. So that is going to be, that is at which level you are going to be sending the packet. That level will be chosen in this particular preference level field. It will be indicating that in which level the ICMP packet has been sending over, right? So these are all the things. And next one is the mobility extension. That is the mobile IP fields. Here the type is set to 16, indicating that this is advertisement packet, and length depends upon the number of COAs provided with the message. So with the particular message in the ICMP packet, what are all the number of COAs, that is the care of addresses that you are going to sending. Okay, the total number of COAs that you are sending will be filled in the length field. Okay, and next one is the sequence number. The sequence number showing the total number of advertisements since from the initialization, not between this particular mobile node and not between this particular mobile communication point or interval, but right from the communication initialization itself, what are all the total number of advertisements that has been gone through will be indicated by the sequence number. Okay, so by the registration lifetime, that next one is the registration lifetime. The agent can be specifying the maximum lifetime in seconds a node can request during registration. That is, a particular number of times will be given for you. That much number of times itself the agent can request for the corresponding registration or advertisement. So how many number of times a node can advertise will be defined in the registration lifetime. So after that it has to get renewed. Okay, so what are all the fields? Length we discussed, type is equal to 16, indicating that it is an advertisement packet. Length indicates the total number of addresses that we have sent, and sequence number is the lifetime that is going to be the particular total number of advertisements until the right from the starting of the communication, and registration lifetime is total number of times the agent can request for the advertisement of the packet. Okay, that is about these fields. And coming to the other flags that we are having, that is R, B, H, F, M, G, R, T are there for us. So what are these are? R is for showing whether it is a registration or not. Okay, so that it is going to be required by the agent or not when used as a co-located COA at the mobile node. Okay, R is going to be indicating that if it has been requiring the registration, if it has been acting as a co-located at the MN. Next one is, if the agent is too busy and it is rushed with sufficient number of calls and requests, then it is going to be enabling the B bit, indicating that it won't allow any request furtherly. It's going to be allowing no further request, indicating that it is busy by enabling the bit B. Otherwise, it is going to be enabling the bit R, indicating it can reserve or it can register for the advertisement. Okay. And next one is H and F. So if the agent is acting as a home agent or if the agent is acting as a foreign agent, these two will be indicated by either H or F. Based upon the bits enabled, whether H is enabled or F is enabled, we can identify that whether the agent has been acting as a home agent or it has been acting as a foreign agent at that moment. Okay. Next one is M bit and G bit. So what are these flags? M flag and the G flag. These flags are going to be indicating what is the type of encapsulation that you are going to use. That is to send the data from the default router that is being assigned for us in the foreign network to the corresponding mobile node. The encapsulation is needed. That is, whatever the tunnel packet that is being received by the default router will be encapsulated and it will be securely sent from the default router to the corresponding mobile node which is presenting in the foreign network. So in that case, we will be following certain encapsulation methods, that is to secure the data packet. So the encapsulation procedure that we have followed has to be exhibited in the packet also. Okay, that is being specified by either by M bit or by the G bit. So which type of encapsulation that you are going to follow, whether minimal encapsulation is being followed, that will be indicated by the M bit. Otherwise, whether you are following generic routing encapsulation. So what are these encapsulation, madam? What are all these methods? So while we are discussing about the encapsulation methodology, we will see what is this minimal encapsulation, what are all these generic routing encapsulation methodologies, right? We'll see when we are discussing about the encapsulation. And next one is characteristics of an agent. See here, the corresponding what is called as the first version of mobile IP, that is the RFC 2002, the bit specifies the use of header compression. That is, what sort of header compression that you are going to use in this particular packet will be given in the V bit. It is going to be specified according to the standard of RFC 1144. And next one is R field will be same bit position is set to 0 must be ignored. In this case, that is whenever a particular header is going to be compressed in the case of a mobile IP, then R is going to be set to 0. R is going to be set to 0. And the new field T indicates the reverse tunneling is supported by the FA. That is, foreign agent is going to be doing the reverse tunneling. So what is the reverse tunneling, madam? We doesn't discussed about the tunneling procedure also. So while discussing the tunneling, we will see that what is the reverse tunneling and where it is when it is going to be performed by the foreign agent and whenever this particular T bit will be set. Okay. and COA. COA is going to be advertised, and it is going to be what is called as followed by the foreign agent. Whenever it is allocating the care of address to the corresponding mobile node, it is been entered by the from the corresponding home network to the foreign network. Okay, it is going to be identified by the F bit, indicating that it is acting as a foreign agent, and it is going to be allocating the care of address to the mobile, right? So coming to the solicitation, already we discussed about this solicitation. What is the solicitation is? If no agent advertisements are present, or the inter arrival time is too high, and no specific COA is being there for us, there is no means of any specific COA allotment for us, the mobile node is going to be sending the agent solicitation. See, agent recognition or agent recovery or discovery includes the two procedures. One is the agent advertisement, another one is the agent solicitation. Agent advertisement is the one which is going to be self-advertised by the agent itself to be get identified by the mobile node while entering into the foreign network. So it will be get allocated with certain COA for its identification to be get identified by the correspondent node to continue the communication. But if we are not having the availability of the agent advertisement, and we are not able to identify the any agent to allocate with certain COA for the moment to continue the communication, then the agent itself is going to be get given certain request message by the mobile node. Okay, so the agent will be sent a request. Okay, which who are going to be sending the request here? The mobile node is going to be sending the request to the agent, and that particular request here what we are calling as agent solicitation. Okay, so here while sending the agent solicitation, that is we are requesting the agent, please give us some identification, as we have entered into the your network, you have to give some identification for us to continue the communication. So for that one we are requesting the agent, that is called as the agent solicitation. Okay, so these solicitation messages shouldn't flood again. Our solicitation messages shouldn't flood again the network, and they shouldn't become the bottle network. While sending these messages, we should be taken care that after identifying the agent advertisement keenly, if at all at the last moment, if you are not available with any agent advertisement, we are not unable to recognizing any agents, then only by observing and by taking care only we are going to sending these agent solicitations. Okay, and if a no doesn't receive any answer for our solicitation, that is after sending the agent solicitation, if you are not going to receive anything, we shouldn't continuously sending these solicitations, as they are going to be flooding the network traffic. Then we have to remind for a certain interval of time in a calm manner. Then we have to restart our solicitation after a certain interval of time. Minimum it is to be the 1 minute. We have to wait for a 1 minute, and again we have to send a request for the agent. Okay, so that is how the agent solicitation will be taking place. This is in the case whenever we are not unable to identify any agent registration, otherwise we are going to flooding the network and we are creating the problems. Okay, and discovering the agent can be done at any time, and we are going to connecting to that particular agent. And after the advertisements and solicitations has been done, obviously we'll be getting, that is the mobile node or a mobile host has been getting the COA, that is the care of address, either one for a foreign agent or for the co-located. If you are moving, we will be getting the co-located COA. Otherwise, if you are being staying in that particular foreign network, you will be allocated with the FA COA. Okay, this will be happening within no time, and user wouldn't identify the difference in between getting the COA while he is in the home network. Okay, if you can identify that, we'll be losing our call. We'll be getting the break in our call if you are having that difference. So within no time, all this is happening. That is, agent advertisement will be done. We'll be getting the COs, or agent solicitation will be done, and we'll be getting the COA, and we'll be continuing our communication. Okay, this is what happens while we are being connecting with the call, and we are being roaming, and we are being crossing different networks. Even though we are being crossing the networks, we are changing our geolocations, we'll be continuing with our communication, right? Next one is agent registration. So after receiving the COA, after receiving the CVA, even you have been got some address and identification, we have to get registered with the HA, that is home agent. Why we have to get registered with the HA, madam? Why? Because even already we've been moved from home network to the foreign network, and we got some COA from that particular foreign agent, and we got allocated that particular foreign agent router as the default router to continue the communication. Why do we have to get registered with the home agent? Why? Because our identification is still same as it is at the point of the home network with the home agent. Why? Because our address will not be changed as we are being moving, but our mobile number is not going to be changing. Our addresses and our IP addresses will not change. Okay, just we are changing our point of attachment of communication. Okay, so in that case, how do our partners know that we are being moving from the one network to the other network? Just simply they will call our mobile number, and the mobile number is attached to our home network itself. Our home agent will receive the call first. Okay, so that we have to first register with our new COA, intimating the home agent that you have got into the particular foreign network and you have been allocated the new COA, so that each and every subscriber calling you will be contacting the home agent, so that they will get that particular COA to contact you directly. So in that way, you have to register with the home agent. Okay, I think I am clear. I'll be depicting this one. Right. See, our mobile node is presenting in the home node, right? Home network. This is the home network. And we have been moved to the home network. Sorry, foreign network. And here we are having the foreign agent. And here we are having the home agent. As we are belonging to the home network, we are having some IP address. Even though we are moving from home network to the foreign network, our IP address won't be changing, but it is going to be changed with COA, right? So here, whenever we enter into this foreign network, right, we will be allocated with some COA. Already we discussed that whenever a correspondent node want to communicate with you, it won't communicate directly like this. As you are presenting in the foreign network, that particular correspondent node will not directly communicate with you. It has to first contact like this. Why? Because your mobile number will be attached with this particular IP address. Your mobile number will be attached with this particular IP address. So whenever he calls, that is, the partner will call you, the connection will be first sent to the home network itself. The connection will be sent to the home network itself. Why? Because your IP address is there. Even though you've been allocated with COA, whether it is a foreign agent COA or maybe the co-located COA and whatever it is, your identification only known by your home network itself. Your home agent has to reroute the calls. Okay, so that the call will be first received from the received by the home network, and the home agent will be retransferring your call to the corresponding foreign network. That is what we have saw in the working of the mobile IP, data transfer in the mobile IP. So the COA which has been allocated by the foreign network has to be known by the home agent. Why? Because as our call has to be forwarded to the corresponding foreign network where we are being residing, our call has to be re-forwarded. How it has to be re-forwarded? How our address will be known to the home network? It has to be get known. So for that one, the mobile node which has been newly allocated with COA has to get registered with the corresponding home agent, intimating its new COA. Its new COA has to be get intimated by the mobile node to the home agent, so that whenever user calls you with your number, so that they will be reaching the home agent first, so that the home agent already knows about your new COA, new address, so that it will be get forwarding your call to the new address or the new network where you are been residing, so that your router will be changing there afterwards and you will be communicating with the corresponding node continuously. So that is what you are discussing about this called as agent registry. Already we discussed about the agent discovery, how the agent has to be discovered. That is, while entering into the new foreign network, the mobile node has to be get identifying the foreign agent. How the foreign agent will be get identified? Foreign agent itself is going to be advertising itself using the advertisement messages or agent advertisement messages. So by receiving this agent advertising messages, the MN will be allocated with the COA. Otherwise, if the agent is not being get discovered by the MN has to give the solicitation. The MN has to give the solicitation message so that it is been requesting for allocating with the corresponding COA. So either with the advertisement message or with the solicitation, finally the mobile node will be get allocated with the COA. So this COA has to be get registered with the mobile node at the home network, right? So this is what the registration means. Okay, this is what the registration means. So this registration can be done in different ways depending upon the location of the COA. That is, whether you've been allocated with the foreign agent COA or you have been allocated with the corresponding co-located COA. Depending upon those two COAs, your registration has to be done with the home agent. Your registration will be done with the home agent, right? So that in this way, right? So mobile node will be there and a visitor list will be maintained with a foreign agent like this. We will be registering with the first foreign agent registration request, and the registration request will be get forwarded by the foreign agent to the home agent. So after accepting by that particular home agent request by yourself, why? Because this mobile node is belonging to the home agent, not belonging to the foreign agent, so that it is been forwarding the request through the foreign agent to the home agent, and it will be get acknowledged by the home agent as a reply to the registration through the foreign agent, and it will be received with the mobile. Okay, so this is how the registration will be done. So if the corresponding COA is at the FA, that is nothing but the care of address is pertaining to a single foreign network, or the mobile node is being continuously presenting in a particular network, the mobile sends a registration, what we saw in the diagram, and the foreign agent will forwarding the particular request to the home agent. What the home agent will do now in the agent registration, what the home agent will do now, the home agent is going to be setting up a mobility binding. It's going to be setting up mobility binding, nothing but containing the mobile node's home IP address and the current COA. So what happens here? The mobile IP address will be attached with the current COA. Getting new address or a new form of the address is nothing but the combination of home IP address and the current COA. That is nothing but the mobility binding will be done by the home agent itself. So that will be again sent back to the particular mobile node. It also contains the lifetime of the registration, so that the registration that has been done by the mobile node, once it enters into the home foreign network, has to be retained for only certain moment of time. If it has to continue the communication, or it has to renew the communication again after a certain interval of time, it has to re-register. So this mobility binding is only meant for certain interval of time. After that, it will be get expired. Okay, so it also contains the lifetime of the registration. This mobility binding is going to be consisting of the lifetime of the registration, and it is going to be negotiated during the registration process, and the registrations expires automatically to avoid the mobility binding which are going to be flooding the network. This mobility binding is to be every time it has to be renewed. Otherwise, if you are being continuously registering with the corresponding agent, it won't be allowing the new calls, and you will be continuously within its agent or visitors list. So to avoid that and serving for all the customers, this particular lifetime registration has been, a registration lifetime has been introduced, so that giving chance for all the customers. Okay, so after setting up the mobility binding, this particular will be this mobility binding message will be sent back to the foreign agent, which in turn forwards to the mobile node. So I simply given you that sending the registration details back to the mobile node is nothing but sending the mobility binding message composed of both the node's home IP address in combination of the current COA along with the lifetime of the registration, right? So this is how what happens given in the form of a activity diagram, right? Registration request will be sent from mobile node, which is present in the foreign network through the foreign agent, and it will be forwarded to the home agent. From the home agent, the registration reply will be given in turn back to the corresponding mobile node itself. What happens in this registration request and the registration reply? What happens? It is going to be, home agent is going to be binding the IP address of the mobile node along with the currently allocated COA by the foreign agent in combination of those two, along with the lifetime of the registration will be sent back to the mobile node by referring the registration lifetime and by referring with the combination of the COA and the home IP address. The mobile node has to renew its registration from time to time in order to continue with the registration. And this particular registration procedure depends upon whether the mobile node continues with this particular foreign agent or it is moving from this foreign agent into some other foreign network. That is, if this MN is being allocated with foreign agent COA or co-located COA. Depending on that, the agent registration is going to be varying. Okay, right. So if the we've been discussed about that whether the corresponding, one second. Okay, so we discussed that particular foreign agent is going to be allocating the COA for ML. If we are allocated with the co-located COA, if you are allocated with the co-located COA, so what happens there? It is in that case, registration will be simple. In that case, the registration will be simple. What happens is the mobile node sends the request directly to the home agent and vice versa. Simply the registration will be directly done by the home agent and vice versa. And this particular procedure, in this way, the home network is going to be directly registering your COA and sending your data, and no foreign agent is going to be involved in here. Okay, so this is how the corresponding thing will be happen. Here the UDP packets are being used for registration request. So the agent registration will be done with the UDP packets, whereas agent advertisement will be done with the ICMP packet. So we are not introducing any new packets into this procedure. Agent advertisement will be done by adding the advertisement to the ICMP packet, whereas agent registration will be done by appending some registration procedure to the UDP packets. So no new packets are there, no addition to the existing packets. Okay, this is your class. What are all the different fields with the corresponding UDP packet, how the request will be done, how the registration will be done, we'll see in the next class. And coming to the internal schedule and external schedule that has been announced, and already you all aware about that. Don't get panic along with the present schedule going on. See, we'll be discussing with the HOD sir and we'll be giving you the details regarding how the exams are going on, whether you are being conducting your mid or theory or whatever may be the first one, whether theory will be conducted or the quiz will be conducted, how they will be conducted, how you have to follow up, and how what about the corresponding external exams, whether the external exam schedule is fake or original, it will be get identified after discussing the HOD sir. We will be informing your details, so don't bother about it and don't get panic, but be ready to face the situation whenever details are being announced to you. Okay, be ready for face the situation to either answer the internals or answer the externals. So get aware and don't be too lazy. Try to be intact or get contact with your old syllabus, and also refer the materials and collect the materials wherever you have been just uh, randomly kept away all those things, textbooks, materials, and whatever. Collect them and keep along with you, and refer them whatever they are in your syllabus. And regarding your second internal also, collect the materials and collect the bits of your online, and collect the important questions that are being given to you at that moment, and go through the important questions of second internal, and also the mid questions. Okay, whatever the details, we will be informing you. Okay, so timetable has been given as it is by the university, but what are all the details regarding the conduction of the exams has to be revealed. Okay, after getting the instructions from the university to the principal and also HOD sir, we will be giving you those details. Okay, there is no any fake schedule. It is being known already. Okay, and HODs are been discussing with the principals sir, and details will be known shortly, and we will be informing you shortly. Okay. Okay, I'm closing the session. Get ready for the next session.